Now let's continue with logical access controls. Once again, we will revise the entire logical access controls, what we saw till now. What are the components of logical access path? Online terminal, dial-up ports, telecommunication network. Then what are the technical exposures? Data diddling, time bomb, logic bomb, Trojan horse. Then worms, rounding down, salami technique, trapdoor. Then computer crime exposures, wiretapping, data leakage, piggybacking, denial of services. Then these are asynchronous attacks. Now let's see what are the computer crime exposures. Financial loss, loss of credibility, legal repercussions, blackmail, disclosure of confidential information, sabotage, and spoofing. Okay, learn these points 4 at a time so that you will be able to remember them and keep them revising for every additional 4 points you learn. Now let's see for which parts of your information system we will apply this logical access controls. We want to protect data integrity of application software, that is your MS Word, MS Excel, MS PowerPoint, then Tally, ERP, Winman, or whatever application software you are using. Okay. Because you are entering your credentials into that system, even your Gmail account, it is application software. You are entering your credentials. There is a lot of sensitive information. If someone gets access to your Google account, he can virtually access your bank accounts also. So you need to protect data integrity of your application software also. You need to protect these apps with a password using some app lock or something. Then backup files. What are backup files? Your Google Drive, that is actually your backup. Whatever photos you upload in your mobile, they automatically get backed up in the Google Photos or Google Drive if you have made that authorizations. So you also need to maintain data integrity of that backup file so that someone else should not access them. Then data dictionary and then data. What is data dictionary? Okay, you don't have to know that in detail, but just remember data dictionary and data. That is just we have prepared a list that what is the nature of data, features of the data, sensitivity, confidentiality of the data, and we have prepared a dictionary so that as per that dictionary, access will be given to the components of the organization. So that is basically data dictionary. We will define it to understand the nature of data. So once again, application software, backup files, data dictionary, data. Application software, backup files, data dictionary, and data. What are these? These are the points of information system that we need to install logical access controls. Why we are doing this? To protect the data integrity of these components. Yes. Then program library, password library, logging files, and system software. System software is basically your Windows version or Apple version. Without system software, you cannot use these hardware or these systems. Then logging files. These log files are used to keep a track of the activities done or the processes initiated in the system. If you don't keep a track, you know it will you will not be able to achieve the audited objectives and all. In the password library, there will be a list of these users and the passwords. And then program library. What is a program library? We'll keep a list of again application softwares, the authorizations and all, ITIL framework and all. This it will all be included in the program library. Even if one of these components, if they are hacked by a perpetrator, they can gain access to the remaining components itself, because everything is connected. And if you get access to even one of these components, you will be able to get access to all the components of the information system. Okay, so once again, program library, password library, logging files, system software. Okay, layer library, logging, system. You can remember it like that: library, logging, system. Library, logging, system. Just remember it is a password library and a program library. Now again from the beginning, you can remember this as ABD data peoples, ABD data peoples, application software, backup files, data dictionary, data, library, logging, system. A library, password library, program library, logging files, system software. So these are the components where you need to install logical access controls to protect the data integrity. Now, what mechanism we will implement at these points of the information system? We will implement mechanism for identification. We will identify the user, and then we will verify whether he is an unauthorized user or authorized user. We will use smart cards, fingerprints, or ID cards. Okay, smart cards, they don't have your photo and all. They have just some barcode or something. Once you show that smart card, you will get access. On ID cards, your photo will be there, all your personal details will be there, and you know what are fingerprints. Additionally, they can also add a retina scanning, then voice recognition. All these additional measures they can use if they want to increase their security measures. Okay, so smart cards, fingerprints, ID cards, smart cards, fingerprints, ID cards. Okay, you can remember this. You have done this for identification. Then authorization. It can be ticket oriented or list oriented. What is ticket oriented? You will be given access to the system to do a certain activity. If you do anything else other than activity, the system will revoke your authorization. So it is ticket oriented. After the activity is done, your authorization will be revoked. You will not be again given access to the system. That is what is ticket oriented. You are given access to the system for a limited period of time, or it is a temporary access. Then list oriented. We will prepare a list of the users of the organization. What is the level of clearance to the data in the database? So this is basically list oriented. If your name is not in the list, you will not be given access. So you can also maintain list and the level of clearances for that user. So ticket oriented, list oriented, ticket list, ticket list, ticket list, ticket list. Okay, so smart cards, fingerprints, ID cards, ticket list, ticket list. Why we are supposed to emphasize more on revising? Because there are a lot of controls. When I was reading it for the first time, I actually had started crying. So we have to keep on revising it at least 50 times. So this was all the content in relation to logical access controls. Now let's revise the entire logical access controls once again. Why we are doing logical access controls? To prevent unauthorized access and protect the data integrity. What are the components? Online terminal, dial-up port, telecommunication network. Then what are the technical exposures? Data diddling, logic bomb, time bomb, Trojan horse. Then worms, salami, trapdoor, and worms, salami, rounding dawn, and trapdoor. Then what are the asynchronous attacks? Wiretapping, data leakage, piggybacking, denial of services, and then exposures are financial loss, loss of credibility, sabotage, spoofing, legal repercussions, blackmail, and disclosure of confidential information. Then, what are the components where we need to install logical access controls? Application software, data dictionary, data, backup files, then library, logging, system, password library, program library, logging file, system, software. Yes, you are asking something. After that, we will implement these mechanisms to protect them. What are the mechanisms? Smart card, ID card, fingerprints, smart card, ID card, fingerprints, then ticket oriented and list oriented. So we have revised again the entire logical access controls. Okay, we are going
Sir,
to.
I have a doubt.
Yes.
From where are we discussing, sir, implementation mechanism in the book? I'm not even able to find out where it is.
Means in the module you are not able to find these controls.
Yes, sir, implemented mechanism have been found. Authorization somewhere somewhere last I found out ticket approach and list oriented.
See,
I'm not able to find out.
in the module it will be given, the points are like identification, authentication, then users will provide identification and authentication in following manner, and then authorization. It may not be in this format, but see,
Oh,
what is happening is the amendment part
yes.
of this logical access controls. It is, instead of giving it in the 3rd chapter, they have given it in the 6th chapter. So what I've done is I
went and searched over there, sir.
Yes, if you want, I will share that extract or the photo of that material and send it on the group. Okay, don't worry about it.
Yes, sir.
We
Yes,
will
sir.
continue with physical access controls. Okay, it is good that you have told me about that. I can share that extract now.
Yes, sir.
See what is happening in this photo. Can you understand that? Yes, try to guess what is happening in this photo.
She's done something wrong and he's asking her to leave.
Yes, she is being fired on the spot. Okay, so that person who is telling her to leave is basically her senior or manager or employer. She is the employee there. So you can understand the basic instinct of a individual to take revenge on the company. It can happen if the person doesn't have the required level of emotional intelligence. If he or she is not able to handle the emotions and all, he can turn into a possible perpetrator. So why we are understanding this question is, there are certain types of perpetrators. Their attitude is different, their way of attacking the organization is different. So we will understand what type of perpetrator the person can become, and as per that we will take measures. Okay, what measures we will take is, before hiring itself we will sign a bond from him that if this person tries to damage the resources, if he tries to leak any information, these are the fines or contractual requirements he must satisfy after and during the employment. So we will sign a bond from him before he is given employment. Now let's see what are the possible perpetrators. Okay, these are the types of employees which can turn into a possible perpetrator. So you can call them potential perpetrators or potential threat agents. Okay, you can relate to this question more. So let's see. Accidentally ignorant employees. Okay, E is employees. Accidentally ignorant employees. Okay, it is not the fault of the employee, but it looks like he was ignorant in his approach. So we are calling it accidentally ignorant employee. Like the person was supposed to take a backup of the data on Sunday. On Monday, they found out that he didn't take the backup of data. He came to the organization, he started the backup process, but then he fell asleep on the desktop, and because of that, the backup was not done within the prescribed time. And because the backup was not done, next day on Monday, the entire organization was not able to access it, and they had to lag all the functions of the organization for one day. So because of that, it is an embarrassing situation. That is why we are calling it accidentally ignorant employee. Then discontented employee. Okay, the employee has worked in the organization for around 10 to 15 years. Okay, there is some noise in the background. If it is disturbing too much, tell me. So once again, discontented employee. He is working in the organization for 10 to 15 years. He is feeling that he doesn't have a sense of purpose of working in the organization. He must be promoted, or he must be given a managerial position for working that long. So basically, he is discontented with the treatment he is given in the organization. Then termination notice. Sometimes some employees are hired by the organization for a specific term, like 5 years, 6 years, 10 years. After that tenure is over, they will be given a termination notice that we thank you for your services. You can leave the organization now. So to ensure their continuous employment, or to take revenge, they can also turn into possible perpetrators. Okay, so you can keep a log that this person was given a termination notice. So this can also be the person who attacked the organization. So we are not leaving any factors outside this. Then substance addiction and gambling. Okay, if he is addicted to drugs, or alcohol, or any psychotropic substances. What happens is the person is addicted so much that he loses the sense of responsibility it has for his organization. Now, once it comes out in the open that this person is addicted and all, the person loses his image in the organization, and it can become a very serious problem. So that is why this gambling and substance addicted people, they are not allowed in the organization, and the organization makes sure that it doesn't have that kind of people by conducting drug tests and all. They will take a sample of your urine or your blood, and they will verify it whether there are any drugs in that, or you are accustomed to any substances and all, to make sure that this vulnerability is not exploited by the hackers, or you don't cause any embarrassment to the organization in the public. Then the financial problem. You know what all hardwares are used in the organization. They are a bit expensive and all. So what will happen is he can try to steal it and sell it, or for some information, he will disclose some information for some money. So that can happen if the employee has financial problem. So these were the 5 people who can turn into possible perpetrators: accidentally ignorant, discontented, termination notice, substance addiction and gambling, and financial problem. Okay, remember this as ADTSF. What is ADTSF? Accidentally ignorant, discontented, termination, substance addiction and gambling, financial problem. ADTSF. Okay, once again, accidentally ignorant, discontented, termination, accidentally ignorant, discontented, termination, substance addiction and gambling, and financial problem. Okay. So these are the people who in the organization, if something happens, can become possible perpetrators. So you need to make sure that you take the correct actions in relation to same. Now, what can happen? If you force them a lot, what can happen? What is the result of that violation? Abuse of data resources. What does this mean, abuse of data resources? They will use the data for their own benefit. They were given access to the data because we believe that he understands the responsibility, he understands the confidentiality and all. But now he is using the data for his personal benefit. That is abuse of data resources. That is abuse of his position. Then obviously blackmail. We will force the organization that if you don't give me compensation or you don't reinstate me to the back into my position, I will leak this information. So that is blackmail. Then embezzlement. We will steal something from the organization, some softwares, input output devices. Okay, it can be printer, laptop, anything, any expensive software, and we will embezzle it. Then damage. We will take a bucket of water and we will straight away go into the server room and we will throw that water on the server. That is damage. Okay. Just because we want to do it, we will do it. After that, unauthorized entry. Okay, in the register, what we will do is, okay, this is very funny. We will show that the manager has arrived before you in the organization and then you have entered into the organization. Okay, so what you will do is you will just make unauthorized entry to create a havoc in the organization. Because see, every perpetrator has his own means to do that. So he will try to resort to this unauthorized entry. Or he can also show that the manager has come into the organization, but he will try to alter those initials, like Ram Bhav will just become Ram. Okay, that kind of alteration he can do. Then disclosure of sensitive information. Disclosure of sensitive information. Again, he will, for some money, he will disclose the sensitive information to the competitors for strategic advantage. So you can remember this as ABDUD. What is ABDUD? ABEDUD. ABDUD. Abuse, blackmail, embezzlement, disclosure, unauthorized, damage. Once again, abuse, blackmail, embezzle, disclosure, unauthorized, damage. Now we will once again see what are the possible perpetrators. Okay, it is ADT-SF. What is ADT-SF? Accidentally ignorant, discontented, termination, substance addiction and gambling, and financial problem. And what they can do is they can do ABDUD. What is ABDUD? Abuse, blackmail, embezzlement, disclosure, unauthorized, damage. Abuse, blackmail, embezzlement, damage, unauthorized, disclosure. Okay, so this is what the perpetrator can do if he wants to do. Now we know what this perpetrator can do. What we will do is we will prepare a list of the facilities, how much expensive they are, how much prioritized they must be, and all. We will prepare this list of facilities and we will protect it. Okay, so these are the points the perpetrator can use to attack the organization. Perpetrator means the employees. So we are talking about employees only. They don't have any special knowledge. So what they will do is within the organization, they will try to do rebellion. Okay. So first one is input output device. Okay, the pen drive. Pen drive is a input device, and printer is output device. Okay, you enter the data using pen drive, and you take output of the data using printers. So what we will do is the pen drive, we will steal the pen drive, or and delete all the data on the pen drive, or you can steal the wires of the printer so that they are not connected to the system, so the output cannot be given. Then on-site and remote printers, those printers can be on-site or remote. What is on-site remote? It is outside the organization, and remote is within the organization. Then local area network, that is basically your LAN. If you are not connected to your LAN, you will not be able to access the server. So what we will do is, we will there is a switch to turn on the LAN. What we will do is, we will put water on it so that it becomes disabled. They have to replace the entire LAN system if that button is damaged. Okay, that is how much serious this is. We will just put water into that. Okay, not a lot of water, just 4 to 5 drops, and the work is done. Then the telecommunication lines, we will cut the telecommunication lines, or we will install the devices that we were talking about, like wiretapping and all. We will install the devices for our computers. That can also happen. Then power sources. Okay, we are talking about the generators and UPS. So when the power is out, we will use the sources. Now what we will do is, we will lock the room of the where the UPS on the generator is, and we will hide the key, or we will lock it, or use a combination of password that it is unbreakable. That is how power sources we will have. Then the communication channel. Okay, so basically internet or other communication channels. What we can do is, we will communicate with everyone in the organization, and we will play songs, so that and very loud songs, so that they get disturbed and it creates a havoc in the organization. Okay, because anyone can call the board of directors and start giving cuss words, or playing songs and all. That can happen if the communication channel is compromised. Then the control unit. What is control unit? There is a control room where all that feed of the security cameras and all you can see. You will get hold of the control unit, and you will install a camera to see what is happening in the control room. Okay, so control room is installing cameras in the entire organization, and you are installing a camera in the control room. So that can also happen. Computer room. What is computer room? It is just a room where all the information technology softwares are stored and all. Then offsite backup storage. That is why we were saying that backup files. Okay, backup files, we are installing logical access controls. Okay, it must also have physical access controls. So these are also the points. Then the storage rooms and supplies. What are storage rooms and supplies? The additional peripheral equipment and snacks and all. Okay, in IT organizations, they have a lot of snacks. They have cupcakes, muffins, that CCD coffee machine, and a lot of things. So it must also be protected. What he will do is, he will put all the snacks in his bag and then run away. Okay, if it does that, it is not wrong, but it must also be protected. So once again, now remember this by a story, that first what we will do is, we will go into the our cabin, we will steal the pen drive, then we will steal the printer wire cable. Then that printer can be within the organization or outside the organization. Then we will put water on the LAN. Then we will install a device on the telecommunication line for the computer. Then the power room, we will hide the key to access the power room. Then we will play songs or give cuss words to the senior management. Then the control unit, we will install a camera in the control unit itself. Then computer room, again we will start a fire in the computer room so that all the information technologies are destroyed. Then all the backup files, we will again also start a fire there with the backup storage. And from the storage rooms at supply, we will steal all the snacks and run away. Okay, so this is the story you need to remember. Steal the pen drive, steal the wire of printer. The printer can be on-site or off-site. Then put water on the LAN. Then install a device on telecommunication lines. Then lock the power room and hide the key. Then play songs or give passwords to the senior management. Then install a camera in the control unit. Then start a fire in computer room or offsite backup storage and steal the snacks from the storage room. Okay, if you are doing all these things in a coordinated manner in one day, it will create so much havoc in the organization. Okay, you cannot imagine. If you create a sequence of this and coordination, you do all these activities. Okay, it can create a havoc. Once again, input output device, offsite a remote, onsite remote printers, communication, LAN, telecommunication lines, then communication channel, power sources, control unit, computer room, offsite backup storage and storage rooms and supplies. Okay, once again, I should have bifurcated this also again. What are the rooms we are discussing here? We are discussing about control unit, computer room, offsite backup, storage and storage rooms. Okay, these are the 4 rooms. These are the 4 facilities we are talking about. Then we have telecommunication lines, communication channel, power sources and LAN. Okay, these are basically only about communication. So LAN, telecommunication lines, communication channel, power sources, and in the beginning we had a pen drive, that is input device, then printer output device, then printer can be on-site or remote. Once again, entire question. We will steal the pen drive, we will steal the wire cable of the printer. The printer can be on-site or off-site. We will put water on LAN. We will install a device on a telecommunication line. Then we will play songs or say cuss words to the senior management. Then we will hide the key to the power room. Then we will install a camera in the control unit. Then we will start a fire in the backup room. Then we will steal the snacks from the storage room. And we will also start a fire in computer room. So 4 rooms, 4 communication technologies and 2 devices. What are the devices? Input output device, on-site and remote printers. So 2 devices. Then 4 communication. So that is a telecommunication lines, communication channel, power sources and LAN. And then 4 rooms, that is control unit, computer room, backup room and storage room. So these are the facilities to be protected.
Sir,
Yes.
I'm not able to find even this question, sir.
Okay, just see, these are basically amendments, I think, because so it may not be in the study material, but I have taken this from the mock test papers or the RTP.
It's in page number 3.20.
Okay, yes, understand 3.20. Okay, once again, I will try to prepare a sequence of the content that we will take in the lecture early, and then I will communicate the same to you on WhatsApp. Okay, what I've done is all the related content, whether it is amendments, RTP, mock test papers, I have placed everything on a one page. So even it is difficult for me to trace back from where did I get this question, but I will take those efforts for you. No issues. Okay, now implementing mechanism. We will see this question. We will Let's take a break of 5 minutes here. Okay, if you want, you can revise everything once again, only for physical access controls, not for logical access controls.